Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about some of the best summer cologne fragrances that I think you can get. So let's get right into it, but first I just want to mention that if you want to sample any fragrance in my entire 100 plus bottle collection, please check out my fragrance sampling website, top link in the description. Now let's get into the list. Alright, the first fragrance I have here is Game of Spades Full House, and this has become one of my most worn fragrances recently. I got it like a month ago, maybe a little bit more. And this is a clone of Louis Vuitton Imagination. And I'd say this is 95% of the way there. Super duper close. I'd say it's a little bit like fruity sweeter, if that makes sense. But I like it, like the smell profile, a little bit better maybe. I can't decide. I don't necessarily like the original smell better or this smell better. It's just slightly different. You know, this is just slightly like sweeter and fruitier. But the smell profile overall is like soapy, clean, fresh, just musks, florals, citruses, just amazing. I guess tea is one of the main notes in here. I get like an orangey, lemony, just like refreshing tea. I just really love it. Just soapy, clean is the kind of vibe that it gives off. It lasts like 6 hours for me. So very, very good for a fresh fragrance, on par with Louis Vuitton Imagination. I highly recommend this if you're looking for a good clone of Louis Vuitton Imagination. I have Al Haramain Amber Oud Aqua Dubai coming in soon, so I'll be able to compare these two. And then potentially I'll just be getting Imagination at some point. We'll see. I'm thinking about it. Comment down below if y'all think I should buy Imagination. But yeah, this has become one of my most worn fragrances recently. Just such a lovable DNA. First time I wore this, I got a compliment. I really enjoy this. I do tend to overspray with this just because it's kind of a lighter scent, but it's just so pleasing. Like, people are not going to complain if you're overspraying this. I really, really enjoy this. I think it just excels in the summer and springtime, and I highly recommend that you guys check it out if you're interested. So, Game of Spades, Full House. Next up, we have a little bit of a TikTok hype beast scent. This is Khadlaj Island, and this, honestly, this is a one-to-one clone of Le Beau Parfum. I'll say it. This is probably the closest clone fragrance I've ever smelled. I mean, obviously it can't be one-to-one, so I'll say this is 99.99999% close, but honestly, I can't even smell a difference smelling them side by side. Like, knowing that they are different, I can't smell a difference. The only difference between these scents, I'd say, is the performance. This fragrance right here, Khadlaj Island, lasts a little bit longer, but it doesn't project as much. So it's going to last like 8 to 10 hours in my experience, but the projection is going to be kind of softer and smoother too, actually. Like, it's not as much of a, I don't know how to explain that, how the projection is softer. But yeah. And the smell profile, if you don't know about Le Beau Parfum, coconut, vanilla, just creamy, tropical, a little bit of iris, a little bit of pineapple, a little bit of ginger, kind of woody. Really, really nice. Just a fresh, tropical, loud, sweet, very fun. Scent profile, this is like 30 to 40 bucks. I think it's great value. Personally, I think nobody should ever be buying a full bottle of Le Beau Parfum unless you're wanting the original of something, which I totally get that. I'm having a little bit of clone fatigue recently. But honestly, if you just care about scent, this fragrance right here gets you 99.9999999% of the way to Le Beau Parfum, and the only 0.0001 is the bottle. So yeah, I highly recommend this Khadlaj Island. This is my second Khadlaj fragrance. My other one is Cafe Latte, which is a one-to-one clone of Amore Cafe. So honestly, I need to get on Khadlaj more because they've been killing it recently. So definitely check this out if you're interested. All right, next up, I have a fragrance that has grown on me a ton recently, and this is Lattafa's Vintage Radio. This is also up there with Khadlaj Island as one of the closest clones I've ever smelled. This is a clone of Initio Paragon, and I've smelled Initio Paragon multiple times in a Neiman Marcus, and I haven't been able to compare it directly with Vintage Radio, but to me, they smell pretty much identical. I'm going to be honest. I'd say, if anything, Vintage Radio is a little bit stronger, but honestly, that's just better, you know? So this is $40 or so, and the smell profile is amazing. This literally smells like magic. It's like a sparkly magic kind of plum smell with a really, really nice sandalwood and Palo Santo wood mixture that gives it like a clean, sweet, smooth woodiness that I just absolutely love. This is one of the only fragrances that I've gotten like all around extremely positive feedback from my family, from everyone. So I highly recommend this. This has a great performance as well, around 8 hours in my experience. Just super nice. You know, it's just a this is really underrated, honestly. I can't find my words right now, but I highly recommend checking this out if you haven't already. I know it's really popular, but popular for a reason. It's a really, really good cologne. And if you're interested, I think you should definitely try and check it out. All right, next up is probably going to be the best performing fragrance of this whole video. This is Haramain's Amber Oud Gold. This is a clone of Xerjoff Herba Pura, about $40 for the 60 milliliter. And to me, this is very, very close. I'd say this is slightly less feminine though, a little bit more soapy vanilla to this than Herba Pura. I'd say Herba Pura is a little bit more fruity. But basically what this is going to be is this is like candied fruits mixed with soapy vanilla. That's what I'd say this is. Super duper good performance, like I mentioned earlier, like 10 hours or so. I will say this is definitely a unisex fragrance. This is not going to be giving off any masculine vibes whatsoever, but it does get compliments, I'll tell you that. So if you are okay wearing a fragrance that isn't necessarily masculine, I think this is definitely a great fragrance to check out. If you want something fun, loud, well-performing for the summer, it's really, really nice, very close to Herba Pura, and it just smells really smooth. It smells expensive. You know, and if someone doesn't know much about fragrances and you tell them this is your fragrance and like show them, like they're not going to think this is 60 bucks. So yeah, Haramain Amber Oud Gold Edition is definitely a fragrance you guys should check out. Last up is Armaf Club de Nuit Iconic. This is technically a clone of Bleu de Chanel, but I like it better than the Bleu de Chanel smell profile. I think this is much more of a mixture of like Bleu de Chanel, YSL, and Dylan Blue, and a little bit of Dior Sauvage as well. But heavy ambroxan, grapefruit, lemon, citrusy scent. A little bit of woodiness, but it's mainly just a citrusy, fresh, woody fragrance with a ton of ambroxan. I'd say this is also a very sporty fragrance. I typically find myself wearing this when I'm doing something active. Super nice, and on the dry down, it's just very like clean. Like it almost gives off a soapy clean effect, but just very clean. I really enjoy this. Great performance as well, like 8 to 10 hours. All of these fragrances are great performers. I've been finding with Middle Eastern fragrances, they just tend to perform really well. So I'm just really glad that our clones are performing as well as the originals, and we're not missing out on that. Only like 40 bucks for this. I think this is one of the greatest blue fragrances ever. It's up there with Parfums de Marly Percival, Roja Elysium, YSL. It's really, really good. I think if you're looking for a great everyday scent that you can wear all year round, any situation, and smell amazing, this is a great option if you're trying to keep it affordable because, like I said, it's only 40 bucks or so. So I highly recommend you check this out. Armaf Club de Nuit Iconic. And that is going to conclude today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and check out my fragrance sampling website if you want to sample any fragrance in my entire 100+ bottle collection. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.